us first. So thank you all for coming to Community Cooking with the Co-op, starring the Coos Head Food Co-op's Outreach Coordinator, Jamar Ruff. Tonight, we're going to be cooking stuffed peppers, and we're also, the library has recently received a grant for $3,000 to increase food security and food literacy in Coos Bay. So a number of people have received vouchers for tonight's program. We'll also have vouchers available for the August program as well. So feel free to reach out to us if you want to sign up for the August program. We'd like people who didn't get the voucher in July to get the vouchers in August though, so we have a different group. But yes, I'm excited to get started. But first, I would like Patrick Franks, the manager of the co-op, to tell us a little bit about what the co-op is, why it's important, and how it contributes to food security and community in Coos Bay. Thank you, Patrick.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you and the library being a part of this community here. So, co-op movement was developed in the 70s to provide organic product and inexpensive whole foods to communities that just didn't have access to it. You know, back then it was very much large chains, grocery chains were only offering conventional foods. So people wanted to have more access and more choices in their organic products. And so they developed this community to seek out those products and bring in local produce, buy in bulk, and help the community have better food in their access to their food. So I think this is a great program to develop more community in our area. I think bringing cooking with community on the air out on the internet was great. To talk about different stuff. I know Jamar has mentioned like cooking, eating, and sharing is part of this process. And so we're addressing these issues of food insecurity, and this program is really helping us to get that message out there and developing that network of people to be aware of it. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys helping us out, and hoping this just keeps going in the future.
We plan on it.
Awesome.
A lot of you have probably seen Patrick participating as an attendee at other community cooking events, not knowing that he's actually the manager of the co-op. Thank you, Patrick. Oh no, I think Jamar and Patrick froze on us.
Oh no.
There we go.
There we go.
They're back.
Oh, good, they're back.
We froze up for a second.
Whoa. I know, I thought I was gonna start sweating.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened?
All right, Chef, it's all yours.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jamar, and I'm the outreach coordinator here at Coos Head Food Co-op. Thank you all for joining us with Cooking with the Community Cooking with the Co-op. Sorry. So the co-op is still opening, so you'll see me saying hello to folks and things like that as they pass by. But tonight, we are making stuffed bell peppers. And so the recipe includes Crimini mushrooms, yellow onions, fennel, which is something that is out of our norm that we usually don't cook with, in hopes that, it'll at least get you to be a little bit more adventurous in the kitchen as well. Like someone said, well, I don't want to use fennel, so I'm going to use leeks. Like, that was really awesome. And good thinking on your, quick thinking on your feet. So we have tri-colored quinoa, garlic, parsley, and veggie stock. It's going to be really awesome. So this is going to be my dinner. I have not eaten today because I knew community cooking was happening. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started first with getting our quinoa. So while the quinoa is cooking, then we'll be prepping our veggies, and we'll start getting the stuffing ready for the stuffed bell peppers. So first.
And real quick, Jamar, I just wanted to remind everybody, if they haven't already, to start preheating your oven at 400 degrees.
Yes. So a part of the recipe, it calls for onions. So the onions are going to be, we're going to divide the onions, because I think the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of onions. Some of those onions are going into the quinoa. So first we're going to add some olive oil into our pot. So I have my pot ready and it's heating up. I'm adding the olive oil and then I'm gonna start dicing my onions. And I'm only putting enough to cover the bottom. And so as far as my onions and how I slice my onions, and I'll use one of these as well. Cheesy. I have to move my bouquet of parsley.
Jamar, Kathy's asking, always put what at the bottom?
So we're doing, we're building our base. So in the pot right now, I have the olive oil, and then I'm gonna start adding my onions. I'm gonna dice my onions first because some of our onions are going in the stuffing, but then we also want to give a good flavor to our quinoa.
Do you have your burner on right now?
Yes. Yes. So I have my burner on medium heat. I'm heating up my olive oil, and now I am dicing my onions to go inside of that.
Cool. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. And all of my onions and things like that, they are going to my bowl on the side because I'm going to be making veggie stock out of that. And so as I am, does anyone have any questions up to now? And this is a No Chef Left Behind cooking class. So we all start together and we all finish together as well.
Yeah.
How much of the onion do we put in the?
So what you can do is just a half a cup.
Good question. And I want to take this opportunity to thank our cameraman, Alan. That's why we can see from above and right on. So thank you, Alan.
Welcome.
There he is.
Normally we start before community cooking starts. We do like a moment of meditation, quiet moment. We just did a little stretching, but that still counts as that was our moving meditation.
Awesome. Healthy mind and healthy body.
Okay, so now I'm adding my onions to that.
And you said that was about a half a cup of the diced onions, right?
Yes. And you know, I cook a little bit more. I'm following the recipe, but I'm also adding a little bit more because, you know, we feed the staff and we're feeding our live audience as well.
Nice. Got to feed the crew.
Yes. You have to. I don't think they will let this happen without feeding them.
I know I wouldn't want to be working in the co-op without getting some of that.
Right. So as I let my onions kind of saute, I'm moving on to my quinoa. So first, whenever we are working with quinoa, and whenever you do work with quinoa, it is a 1-to-2 ratio. So 1 cup to 2 cups of, I never use water, I always use veggie stock because I feel like it wakes up the flavor, especially if it's your veggie stock out of your own, something that you're crafting, but I think it just impacts the flavor. Now with the quinoa, what I like to do is once I put it in once I measure it out, I rinse it because once you rinse your quinoa, it takes away the bitterness flavor that comes. And then I'll toast it a little bit before even adding my veggie stock. So right now you rinse your quinoa, rinse it, and then we're gonna add it to our pot that has the onion sauteing in it.
How do you usually rinse it?
So sometimes if you rinse them and put it in a cup, well, I had already rinsed my quinoa, but while you're rinsing your quinoa, and you add some water to it, if you have a strainer, that works, but if not, you can turn it to the side and just hold your hands like this, and it'll just, some quinoa you're gonna have some floaties, some stuff is gonna float away.
Sure.
But, but if you hold your hands like this, well, so like imagine the pan and I'm controlling it, but I got my hand right here if you don't have a strainer, so.
Cool.
That works. And so I am toasting the quinoa.
So 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. And that is a rule of thumb. It's a rule of thumb. So even if you're doing like 2 cups of quinoa and you add 4 cups of liquid. And it doesn't change. Because it's like you see tri-colored quinoa and then you see regular quinoa. And it's like, well, you know, the cooking is the difference when you're cooking with white rice and brown rice. But with the quinoa, it's the same across the board.
Good to know.
So yes, try this at home. All right. So I'm toasting my quinoa, and I'm just gonna toast, and I'm gonna let it hang out until everyone is at the point where we're adding the veggie stock. Just because when it comes to a boil, I'm gonna be timing, so that way everybody's quinoa, and I'll be keeping track. But the quinoa, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio, and it's a 20-minute timer that goes on to make your quinoa cook. You boil for 20-minute cook time, and then you let it stand for 10 minutes with the lid on.
Okay. Kind of like rice.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm just toasting my quinoa. Does anybody have any questions? Do they have their quinoa in their pan?
Feel free to unmute if you have any questions.
Yes.
I think everybody looks to be cooking along right about now. Uh-oh. Where'd Jamar go? Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. I think we lost. Oh, there he is.
Did you lose me?
Yeah, you went black for a moment.
Really?
Yeah. Our internet connection is unstable. Great.
We can see you now, though. That's good.
Okay. Hey, this never happens, but you know what? Crazier things have happened, right?
Yeah, we'll just blame Zoom.
Yes. Well, that was my first place of blame to find, right?
Right.
So right now I have my quinoa and my onions. They're incorporated. Is everyone ready to move on to the step of putting our veggie stock in there?
Everybody ready for the veggie stock? Think so.
Okay. So now I'm gonna put I'm gonna pour it over.
You keeping that at medium heat?
Yes. So the thing is, what we want to look for is your quinoa. When it's at the point where you want to add the lid to it, you're going to see bubbles starting to form in the middle. Like it's kind of like going to be a circle of bubbles. That is your indication of, okay, now it's time to put my lid on, reduce my heat to a medium, and then put the lid on and time for 20 minutes.
Or do we put the heat on low at that point?
No, you're going to put it on a medium.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Because if you put it on low, it'll be like, okay, it's timing, and then you have your quinoa that's crunchy.
Oh no, we don't want that.
We don't like.
How much stock did you add?
I added two cups. So
Thank you.
it's Theodore, it's going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. So you have a 1 cup of quinoa, you're going to add 2 cups of stock. I always go in with veggie stock or low sodium stock or mushroom stock versus just using water, because it just adds flavor to the dish. So that way you don't have to use so much salt because you're already incorporating the flavors.
Just double your liquid.
Okay. Put this over here. And so while I'm waiting for my bubbles to start, I am going to look at the first thing. So I already have my onions prepped, because the rest of the recipe called for 1.5 cups of onions. So we've already used a 1/2 cup. So now the rest of the onions are going to go for our filling. So we're going to saute the onions in our veggie, not the veggie stock, but our other pot. We're going to saute our onions first. It's going to go olive oil, onion, and then we'll start moving into building our base even up. So we'll start with the garlic, but I never put garlic in a hot pan only because garlic cooks really quickly and then you can burn garlic really quickly as well.
Don't want that.
So, yes, you do not want to burn garlic. So, and that's take your time. We're not in any rush. Just take your time. So right now, my veggie stock is not boiling yet. It will be soon. And I'm gonna start moving into dicing my onions. While that is going, I am multitasking. And then I'm gonna start doing my prep for my onions, I'm thinking of leeks, not leeks, but fennel. And
That's
then
Kathy.
mushrooms. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Mushrooms, fennel, and carrots as well.
Cool.
So I'm gonna start dicing, but I'm also looking at my pot to make sure I am being aware of the signals.
Sure. Sue and Joe said, glad camera not on me. I spilled the quinoa and water all over iPad and counter, then the floor. Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh.
Hey, worse things have happened, okay? So you clean it up, you get your stuff together, and then we are waiting on you.
And Kathy asked, so you aren't covering the pan with quinoa?
Not until I start seeing a boil.
Good question, Kathy.
So once you start seeing the bubbles going, like mine are just now starting. Once I start seeing like, okay, there's action, then I'm gonna reduce my heat and put my lid on.
Okay. Good question.
And so now I am moving on to my fennel, and I'm still prepping because I'm waiting for my pan to come to a boil. I'm gonna do it. Avocado. That's gonna be our word.
Avocado's gonna be our word?
Yeah, avocado is gonna be our word.
Our camera switch word?
Oh yeah, that's the camera answer. Well, it's National Avocado Month on the 30th, by the way. So...
Let's not confuse things. I don't think, just don't put an avocado in your quinoa.
No, do not do that. So with the fennel, I am doing a dice on my fennel.
Joe and Sue asked if we could do avocado egg rolls. That sounds good.
Oh, that does sound really good.
Future recipe, Jamar.
Thank you. He's like, get it done, Jamar. Hey, it is okay. I will be sending it your way tomorrow.
Awesome.
Crossing fingers. No, I'm just kidding. You'll have it. And so now with our garlic, I call for 3 cloves, but mine is gonna have a little bit more extra garlic. And as what I'm doing is prepping ahead. So right now, while my saucepan is boiling, I'm waiting for it to boil. It's action going, but I need to see a little bit more bubbles. I am prepping in the meantime.
Cool.
Okay. So, as everyone has their prep, does anyone have any questions about the prep?
Everybody looks to be cruising right along. Oh, Kathy, what's up? Kathy with a Y.
Yeah. So do you use just the bulb part of the fennel? Do you use the stems?
You can use the whole thing.
The little
you can use
leaves?
The little leaves. You can use everything on fennel.
You can use the whole fennel, Kathy.
And I have my disc fronds. Yes, okay. Thank you, Kristen.
That's what I'll do.
Sue and Joe said they've seen frozen avocados. How are they used? I have no idea.
wonder if you were gonna fry avocados, you might want to freeze them first and batter them and then freeze them, and they might fry really great.
Interesting. Had no idea.
Just a thought. Since we're talking about avocados, you have to be able to fry them. Okay, so my saucepan is now boiling, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce the heat, and I'm gonna put my lid on there, and I'm gonna put it a timer for 20 minutes. Is everybody else at that place?
Getting a lot of yes nods. Think we're good.
So my timer is going on 20 minutes.
So Jamar's gonna start his timer for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know, this
so you
won't
take-
boil, so I can.
So you,
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
yeah, thank you. She just needs a better extension cord.
He also needs a butane.
Kristen's not sitting there telling you what to do, is she?
You know, it would not be Kristen.
We're discussing things behind the scenes.
Hey,
We're working on the technology part, we're better implements.
that's all you need is kitchen to come to Kristen. I said kitchen. Woo, Kristen to come to a kitchen like that's her. This is her place, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
All right.
You're gonna have to beat everybody else.
You chopping your garlic?
Yes, I am. So sorry about that. Yes, I am.
That's more than 3 cloves, too.
Oh, of course.
That's
Yeah,
like,
it is
it's like
more
2
than-
bowls.
So, okay, I gave a disclosure of how much garlic I was gonna use in the very beginning. So in my pot, so as those are boiling, I have my other pot going on my aisle, and in that pot, I have a little olive oil as well to coat the bottom, and then I'm gonna first start out with sauteing my onions.
Sounds good.
Okay. This garlic has me excited.
I thought you were gonna say crying.
No, oh, well, that's onions.
So Jamar, Joe and Sue want to know if the fennel and garlic go in saute pan.
Yes, but you first want to start with olive oil first. Then you're gonna start sauteing your onions. And you want your onions to get good and sauteed a little bit first, and then you'll start adding your garlic and your fennel. You'll start building your base up like that. But you don't want to throw everything in at the same time. You want to at least let things saute first.
Do you like your onions, like them to kind of become translucent?
Yeah,
Little?
yeah.
So you can prep your other ingredients while your onions are sauteing.
Yeah, so right now I have garlic that I am prepping. And so then I'm gonna move over to, I've already chopped my fennel. At this point, I've already chopped my onions. My onions are in the pot, in my veggie pot with the olive oil. Now I'm gonna move over to my carrots and then to my mushrooms.
And Kathy with an eye wants to know what we're doing with the mushrooms.
So we're gonna slice the mushrooms. Well, you are ahead. I can't. She's ahead. Okay, so what I did for my mushrooms is I sliced them. Avocado.
Down a little. There we go. Yeah, we can see them better there. So they're just sliced thin, right, Jamar?
Yes, they are sliced thin.
Cool. Bonnie said she bought dry fennel.
Okay. That works as well. And you'll just, with the dry fennel, what you'll do is you'll just add that when you add your seasonings.
Cool. That'll work. Jamie, you look quizzical. Oh, Francis is being quizzical?
Francis, you have any questions?
No.
No.
I haven't seen you at the co-op.
No comment.
Focused on renaming us so that it's accurate.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jamie.
Jamie Francis, okay.
Perfect.
Okay, as my onions are starting to saute, I'm gonna start adding my garlic in now.
If that seems like a lot of garlic and onions, remember Jamar's feeding the whole crew at the co-op tonight.
But it might just be a lot of garlic and onions, no?
Yeah, that's true.
I am cleaning up as I go. Moving stuff off the cutting board. Okay.
Joshua, I thought you went outside the library for a second before I realized it was a background.
He's on Zoom,
I am.
on Zoom from the parking lot.
Yeah.
That'd be entertaining to see what he encountered on the street there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now in my pan, in my pot, I have my onions, my garlic. They're all starting to sauteing.
All right.
I just love, anybody in here loves garlic and onions. They just,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, yes, that is me, you know. And then the thing about it is like stepping into a kitchen where you are sauteing your veggies and you're like, all right, that just like gets me even more excited about the meal.
Yeah. Yum.
So now with my carrots, and I'm gonna cut one up like I did here, just to show you all how my carrots are gonna look. Because so right now I have my fennel prepped, my mushrooms prepped, my parsley even prepped, and now it's just as they are sauteing, I'm just adding it to the pot. It saves a lot of time. And that way, like say for instance, if you're entertaining, while you're entertaining, you don't have to worry about, okay, I possibly burning something, or you know, I have to chop. It's like, no worries, no stress. So what I did was I cut the carrot in half. This is how my carrot looks.
Okay.
And you want to make sure you hold it, because as you can see, a carrot rolls, and it makes an easy way for you to cut your fingers. So
Don't do that.
yeah, please don't do that. So you want to hold it firm. Chop. Okay. And what I've seen is with carrots and sauteing them, if you have a big chunk of carrot, it's not going to be cooked all the way through. What you want to do is make sure you're slicing them even. So with mine, I have like
Avocado.
avocado. Oh yeah, I gotta say that is the
That's all right. Alan's on it.
We should have said however many times. If you can remember how many times we say avocado in this cooking class, you know. So right now I have my onion sauteing, my garlic sauteing. Now I'm gonna start adding my fennel in as well. Did y'all need anything to drink?
What'd you just put in there, Jamar?
I added my fennel.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, I was checking on the video audience.
That's
So
all right. I
in
just
my-
wanted to make sure we knew what was going in there.
So in the pot right now, I have the olive oil. Then we added our onions, and we let our onions saute a little bit. Then we added our garlic. Now we're adding our fennel, and then we'll add our carrot. And I always add the mushrooms in last because mushrooms, you don't have to overcook them. We want them to be cooked perfectly.
Cool. And so with the carrots, are you just putting those long halves in there, or are you chopping them more?
No, I chop the carrots, and this is avocado.
Didn't count. All right. Come on.
There
So
we go.
my carrots, you see how I have them? And I cut them in half so that way they're easy to handle.
Sure.
But with the carrots, have two, or you can do one, whichever one. There's no wrong or right way to do it. And I am making sure I'm making even slices. So as I'm chopping, I am making sure I'm doing a single, and then I'm moving it and keep it going.
Cool.
Move them over. And it's like, okay. But I'm looking down, not looking up. I'm looking down because my fingers are precious cargo.
Yes, they are. The community needs them.
Hey, and I'm making sure that I'm not cutting too big because I want everything to be nice and even. Okay. So now I'm adding my carrots.
Add your carrots.
Okay, and the quinoa is going to be done in 9 minutes. So we have like the quinoa cooking. For quinoa to finish, it'll be like a total cook time of 30 minutes because you're boiling for 20 and then you're resting for 10.
So Jamar, Bonnie wanted to know if you're using whole carrots, should you use 2 of them?
Yes.
Yes, good question, Bonnie.
And the recipe calls for 1 to 1/2 cup of bulk carrots, and you can dice them, slice them, but also being mindful for how many people you're cooking for as well. And you want to have a well-balanced veggies in your stuffed bell peppers as well. So right now it's like my ratio to onions to fennel to carrots are like the best.
Awesome.
I wouldn't say the best, but they're really good.
Spectacular.
I don't know. Okay. Put those over there. And then my mushrooms are going to be the last thing I add in.
Cool.
I never know if I have enough olive oil in there. I can see it in the bottom of my pan, but it's not bubbling up in a saute way. Should I have more?
With your olive oil?
Right. I didn't measure.
So rule of thumb for me is I coat the bottom of the pan. I just want to coat the complete bottom. I don't want to add too much because then it'll be like you're deep frying. You know, rule of thumb, if I'm adding olive oil in, I can start with coating the bottom of the pan.
How deep?
Oh, well, so say for instance, if you have a tablespoon and you start out with your tablespoon, you add that and then you keep adding. You don't want it to raise up the size of the olive oil. You just want it to cover the surface area.
The bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Good question, Maxine.
Well, it just seems to me that carrots take so much longer to cook.
And that's why you're cutting them a little smaller.
I cut them pretty small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job. And you haven't put the mushrooms in yet, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah. It seems like you're letting everything mix before you go on to the next. Yeah.
So we're not rushing. We're giving everything a chance to cook. We have like 30 more minutes. So I don't think it's 30 more minutes.
Can you explain the carrots first?
Yes, I could have.
I'm interjecting before asking for the carrots or, carrots.
Oh, yeah. Totally. You're doing good. You're doing.
On my best behavior, so I can come back.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah.
Do you need Kristen to help you?
You know what? She kind of wants to.
Then we could probably hear her.
I want to do dishes.
You want to do dishes?
That's all I want to do. I just want to do dishes.
You want to do dishes? Really? Why?
Hey, don't question it when somebody wants to do dishes.
It's my mom. I got it from my mom.
Yes, thank you. Sandy said it's a family tradition, so you know what? I'm right there with you.
Okay. Joshua was in some kind of Star Trek episode now.
No, Jamie and Francis, we haven't added the parsley yet.
I have chopped 2 mushrooms and it made a cup. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Or do
Go ahead. That works.
Perfect.
a cup is about right?
Yep.
Did
That works.
Like that's an awful lot.
Yeah.
A cup's right though, right, Jamar?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it smelling?
Smells delicious.
Awesome.
I'm like, I should have did this hungry.
Yeah, you should have ate something today.
Deb came in the door. She's like, Jamar, you're cooking. I'm hungry. I'm like, okay. Okay. So
Get to it.
Yeah. So right now, I'm gonna start adding my seasoning. So I have basil, coriander, and cumin, and then I put salt on the side because I want control. You know, I don't want to like put too much salt in. So I'm gonna first add my seasoning, and each seasoning is of equal parts. So we have a half a teaspoon of dried basil, half a teaspoon of cumin, and then a half a teaspoon of coriander as well.
And Jamie and Francis had asked about the parsley. When does that come in?
Yeah, we're gonna add the parsley. We're just not there yet.
Okay, cool. Kathy with an eye said, I bet people in the store are buying up a storm smelling all that wonderful food. We hope so.
Michael, this is what I needed. And how is everybody else right now?
Sue, getting some thumbs up, but Sue asked about the spices, if they've come yet, and Bonnie wants you to repeat the spices, please.
So yes, the spices have come yet. We are doing equal parts of cumin, coriander, and we also have basil as well. So we're doing a half a teaspoon of each.
Cool. Everybody, does that answer your spice questions? Thank you,
And
Josh.
Bonnie, you can, if you're at the process now, you can go ahead and start adding your seasonings as well.
Cool.
A teaspoon of salt also.
I didn't put a teaspoon in. I wanted to saute all the vegetables, and then we'll taste it, and then you'll go ahead and start adding your salt to your liking.
Jamar, Sue wanted a repeat of the spices.
Okay, we said coriander, a half a teaspoon of coriander, half a teaspoon of basil, and then we did a half a teaspoon of.
Oh, she wanted to know when to add. You just added it, right?
Yeah.
Right
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
Now.
Go ahead, Sue. Add it. Cooking right along.
How's everybody doing? Okay.
Looking good. Everybody's looking busy. Maxine's got her wine. She's set.
So now I'm gonna start adding my mushrooms in there.
Now we're adding the mushrooms.
Yes.
Sue said, good idea, Maxine. Yes, this is the only time you can drink at the library and the co-op.
Not true, Paul.
Oh, yeah. On rare occasions, we drink in the library.
Once a year.
Yeah, about once a year is right. No, Sue, we haven't added the parsley yet. That's coming.
Yes, the parsley is coming right. So right now in our pot, we have onions, we have our fennel, we have the garlic, we have the carrots, and then we just added the mushrooms, and also we incorporated our seasonings in there as well.
Except the parsley.
My timer just went off for my quinoa. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it to the side, turn it off, and then I'm gonna time for 10 more minutes.
So if you guys were going with Jamar's timer, the quinoa is done, and now he's going to take it off the burner and let it sit with the lid on for 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay, so now.
Oh, Sue asked how long the quinoa cooked for 20 minutes, Sue. She was cleaning up her floor mess when
Okay.
you said that. Sorry, Sue.
So the
Hope your
quinoa-
iPad's okay.
The quinoa cooks for 20 minutes, and then we let it stand for 10 minutes. But what you want to do is first.
Oh, wait, she's asking in oven roasting. We haven't done anything with the oven yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, and the quinoa sits with the lid on for 10 minutes, right, Jamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question, Kathy. Yeah, Sue, you cook the quinoa for 20 minutes in the water, then take it off and let it stand for another 10. Sue was roasting her quinoa first.
She was roasting her quinoa first?
That's what she said, yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping she was just toasting it like you said.
Well, Kristen said that actually takes off the bitterness. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Good to know.
Yeah, that takes off the bitterness as well, like how you will toast it on top of the stove. If you roast it, that assists that as well.
Sue, can you unmute so we can figure out what's going on? You have a lot of questions. I don't think we're answering them quite right. Go ahead, Sue.
Oh, okay. So the roasting, you don't roast the quinoa before you put it in the water? When do you roast this quinoa?
You were supposed to toast the quinoa first. So, and then you add your veggie stock.
Okay, I soaked it, but then I quick put it in to roast because you were talking about roasting and I thought I maybe missed that when it spilled.
Okay.
I think he had said toasting.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jamar.
No problem. So what it is take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. So with the quinoa, how we started out with our quinoa is first we rinsed our quinoa. That reduces the bitterness, right? Kristen just said roasting it also reduces the bitterness. So you can check that off your list. Cool. Now in our pot, what we have is you put your onions in. So you're gonna drizzle in a little olive oil, coat the bottom of the pan. Then you add your onions. You're gonna saute your onions a little bit, and then you're gonna add your quinoa. So once your quinoa is incorporated with the onions, after they've been sauteing a little bit, then you're gonna start adding your stock. So with the quinoa, whenever you're making the quinoa, it's gonna be a 2-to-1 ratio. So Once you add that and you let me know, then we'll move on to the next stuff. Okay?
And Sue, he means like 2 cups of veggie stock to like 1 cup of quinoa.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I got that. I just didn't get the part that the sauteed onions went in the stock. I thought the sauteed onions, and then we kept adding all the veggies to those sauteed ones. So my stock doesn't have onions.
Okay, and hey, that is okay. You know what the cool thing about it is? Your veggie mixture has onions. So we're making it work, okay? No worries.
We're gonna make it work, Sue.
Okay, next time I want a recipe.
You hear that, Jamar?
Yes, I hear that. So right now we're gonna move towards our bell peppers. So what I'm doing is I'm slicing my bell peppers. Right now we have 5 more minutes to our quinoa gets done. You can now, my veggie mixture has been sauteing, so you can taste it and see if it needs a little bit of salt to your liking. Whenever recipes say like, well, this amount of salt, I don't trust them only because people, when you're feeding folks, they're naturally gonna salt their food. You know, so let them be the deciders. And sometimes our taste buds are different. So the amount of salt level that I may like, you may not like that. And you'll be like, well, Jamar, this is a little too salty. You know, so just keep in mind with that, especially with low sodium. Sometimes the iodine salt has too much iodine in it. So you can use the Himalayan pink salt as well. Some of the bags that we had put together had pink salt in them. So some of y'all may have received that as well.
Awesome.
Okay, so for our stuffed bell peppers, I'm slicing down the middle. I'm keeping the green stem on it because I like it when it comes to plating as well. And I'm just slicing it, I'm just slicing it down the middle.
Sue said, thanks for the bag with all the spice packets. That was nice. You're welcome, Sue. And thank you to Jamar and the crew at the co-op for packing those for us.
Right, they did it on a Saturday. They're really super supportive. I'm
Awesome.
like, hey, how about we do this? And they're like, okay, Jamar, let's go. So that was really awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the insides out so that way the seeds and everything like that, I'm clearing that. You can avocado. That's okay. So right now I have a bowl and I am scooping the top out.
So empty out your sliced peppers.
Yes. And I just cut mine in half.
Do you have a question, Terry?
Yeah, I'm yapping away and realized I was muted. Is it like this, Jamar?
Perfect.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Perfect.
Good job.
And they're huge.
Okay. You can stuff more in there. Now I'm getting hungry.
You're gonna have to just like hop in your car, drive on down to the co-op, and pick you one up.
I'm tempted.
And bring Ray with you. And so while I'm doing this, my veggie mixture is close to completion. And go ahead and make sure you're sampling out your veggie mixture as well. Make sure your carrots are tender. Mine are. Okay.
So go ahead and taste your veggie mix.
What are we doing with the rest onions?
With the rest of the onions?
I only put about half.
Okay. So
I have onions left. Didn't we put the onions?
So we did the onion, we put the onions in the quinoa, half of that, and then the cup of onions we put in our veggie mixture.
Do we put raw onions in with the quinoa?
Yeah.
I cook them.
Yeah.
No.
Sauteed them first.
Yeah, you sauteed them first, Maxine.
Well, I sauteed about half of them.
Okay.
But then the other half sitting here in a cup.
Okay, so did you add the onions to your veggie mixture? When you were
Yes.
sauteing your onions, your fennel, and things like that, and did you add the onions to the quinoa?
No.
Okay, so that's what happened. Yeah, so the half of the onions, so the recipe called for a cup and a half, right? In the quinoa, we did a half a cup of onions. That was our base with the olive oil, the onions, and then we toasted our quinoa with the onions and then added the veggie stock. Now in our mixture, the veggie mixture, we have a cup of onions, which what we started out with. So we did olive oil, a cup of onions to give you that buffer between the garlic so that when your garlic doesn't burn. And then we added the fennel in. So once we added the fennel, that's when we started prepping our carrots. We added the carrots in on top of that, let things saute a little bit. And then we started adding in our mushrooms.
I guess I did not add to the quinoa. That's the step I missed, I guess.
It's okay.
I'll save it for breakfast.
Yeah, it's perfectly okay, yes. If you know me, as long now you got it prepped off, because I have onions in everything. So it's like, yep. So now we were talking about the parsley. We were looking at when is a good time to start adding our parsley. And right now my veggie mixture is feeling really good. I also have my timer going on for my quinoa.
And Jamar, I'm guessing Maxine probably has enough onions in her veggie mix that it shouldn't make that big of a difference.
Nope.
Cool. You're fine, Maxine.
You're awesome, Maxine.
Okay.
And so what I did was I pulled the top, just the leaves off of my parsley. Kathy, how is it? How was your tasting? I think you were tasting it, right?
Kathy with an I think.
Okay. Oh yes, Kathy.
Thumbs up.
Okay, and at this point you can start adding your salt and all of those things. Now with the parsley, what I did was I plucked some of the leaves off, and instead of putting like the stems in it, I just plucked the leaves off. And even when I'm making veggie stock at home, I try to like go away from using the stems because it can kind of make it a little bitter.
Okay.
Sorry. Can you see okay?
Yeah.
Now your chair is gonna be right here next time, FYI. Or you'll be like in apron with your hat on right beside me stirring the pot.
We're gonna put him to work next time.
Sandy is my friend. Sandy and Andy. So how I met Sandy, Kristen's mom, is we were at a party. And the party was an auction for Golden Coast School Music School. And our table was the loudest. I mean, we were having a really, really good time. We got up and I mean, it was just perfect. It was perfect. And I was really nervous because whenever I go into a new place with folks, I'm like, oh, I'm a little nervous. But when I tell you Sandy and Andy, they know how to have a good time. They know how to have a good time. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And now she's stuck with me. So for my parsley, it's avocado. So for my parsley, I have a whole bunch of leaves, and I'm just gonna do a rough chop, and I'm gonna start adding them into my mixture. Right now, my quinoa is already set to go. The timers went off for the lid. How is everyone's with theirs?
Everybody doing good?
So should we remove the lid then when the timer's done?
You can, but you don't have to. It's not necessary.
Should bring it over.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring it over.
Thanks, Joshua.
I don't know what happened. They're like Joshua and Paul are working behind the scenes.
Yes, my assistant has to go, but we got this. Let's go ahead and chop up your parsley.
So I'm gonna put some to the side because that's gonna be my garnish. And then the rest is going in my veggie mixture.
So put some in your veggie mix and set some aside for your garnish.
Okay, so now I'm gonna bring my quinoa over and I'm gonna start incorporating my quinoa into my veggie mix.
Cool.
So, this makes me happy. So,
Me too.
well, it completely makes a huge difference whenever we have veggie stock into the quinoa and you lift the lid. It's like, okay, I haven't put anything in here other than onions and veggie stock. And then I'm going around lightly because I want to just fluff it. Oh. And our ovens are set to 400 degrees if anyone missed that. I know we were talking about that at the very beginning, but.
I think everybody caught that. Everybody should have a preheated oven by now.
So once these are incorporated.
So Jamar, is that the entire mixture there?
Yes.
Cool.
So this is what we're going to be using to stuff our mushrooms. Not stuff mushrooms. You can use this to stuff anything. So.
Our peppers, and I think in Kathy's case, her peppers and squash.
Yeah. I'm waiting on my squash to come up. I just harvested my garlic. I'm super excited.
Nice.
First year growing garlic, and it worked. I was so iffy when I started, and I was like, are you sure this is going to start from November to July? But it did.
Awesome.
And so let me get some plates, because I want y'all. I have to let my studio audience give me the taste test.
We've never had a taste test before.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the veggies you put together.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Mom says it's just perfect.
Sandy says it's perfect.
Without salt? I guess I step 2.
Well, if you taste, I did not add salt.
Okay, I'm tasting.
Okay, so if you didn't add salt, that is great because we want to taste it first and then you want to start adding salt. How you doing?
Okay.
Stop it, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and start stuffing my bell peppers,
You
okay?
probably use just a scotch or seasoning.
Okay, thank you.
We ready to stuff?
Yes.
Oh, and Jen says hi, Kristen.
Sorry, we good?
Jen.
No, very good, thank you. Nice to see you.
Figure you couldn't see the chat.
No.
I can see some of them.
Oh, cool. There he goes.
And I'm giving that heaping size.
You're heaping them.
I should have had 6 bell peppers. Boy, this just got 3 times more than what 2 peppers can fill.
Start stuffing some mushrooms.
Stuff something else, Sue. Or put some in the fridge and save it for tomorrow.
There you go.
We're going to stuff some zucchini with it. Like we have some really large zucchini that my husband makes stuffing for.
Uh-huh.
Why not? Sounds good to me.
You can really stuff anything.
Yeah.
And especially like around wintertime when all the acorn squashes are ready. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nice. So you got some parchment paper there, Jamar?
Once it should be the large bowl of this.
Oh, you need a large bowl. Yeah, I got you covered. And so in my pan where I have the recipe calls for parchment paper, I just have that lining just because I did not, if we put it directly in a pan, I did not want my bell peppers, the bottom of my bell peppers to be a little burned. So.
Cool.
Silk cap would work too.
Huh?
In the commercial liner, the silk cap.
Kristen said she used Silifat, right?
It's just a commercial. It's not. It's a retail. It works as a non-stick service.
Stephen, do we need what? Wait, I think he disappeared. Oh, I think he started to ask a question and then disappeared. Never mind.
That was me. I think I was starting to write, do we put anything in the bottom of the pan? And then I missed it, and I think you guys were talking about it. So what it was
we put parchment paper in the bottom of the liner.
Good question, Terry.
Terry, you're awesome. Me and Terry just had dinner. I kind of invaded her kitchen, their kitchen the other day. It was really, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come over. Can I cook?
Well, and Terry went right from the co-op to the kitchen at home because she was in there when I was there a few hours ago.
She was like, Jamar, can I cook? And I'm like, why not? Of course you can.
Everybody can cook along.
Want a little bit of you?
We're good right now, thanks.
Are you sure?
He's got a little bit more left. No.
Okay.
I'll take a look.
Oh, you're taking a little, okay.
Yeah.
Can't forget to feed our studio audience. Okay, so is everyone done stuffing their bell peppers?
Everybody stuff their peppers? Looks that way. Think Terry's just about to stuff them.
Right, and I'm gonna add mine to, once you're ready.
Maxine's on it.
How are you doing, Kathy, with an eye?
You're muted, Kathy.
You just have to unmute.
There you go.
I'm all set. Mine are stuffed and ready to go. They taste
Cool.
great.
Awesome. Good job.
How you doing, Bunny? Oh, those look great.
Go ahead and unmute, Bonnie. Did you stuff your peppers? Should have got a little button from
There we go. There we go.
All right, did you get your pepper stuffed?
No. But just go on without me. I'll get them stuffed.
Okay. She's working on it.
So I'm gonna pop mine in the oven for at least 15 minutes. Well, we'll start with 10 minutes. The whole thing is like, we don't wanna like cook our bell peppers all the way. We still wanna have them be lively and not, roasted. So,
burnt.
Yes.
So we're gonna start for 10 minutes. Those of you who are ready to put them in the oven.
I have mine at
Love seeing everybody busy in their kitchens. But you wouldn't want to see me busy in the kitchen.
It was very difficult for me not to put cheese on top of them.
Well, the cool thing about community cooking with the co-op is And I think that's why we don't provide a recipe. And that was how we kind of started this was we want y'all to actually get into the kitchen, get comfortable in the kitchen, and make the recipe ultimately yours. So we provide the ingredients, we give you the guidelines of how to make it, but it is all about you getting in the kitchen, seeing a recipe and seeing ingredients and being able to make it whatever you like. So if you want to add cheese to it, the goal is to make this, to have you own the recipe.
Yep.
Because it's ultimately yours.
Thank you.
So
And
Maxine's peppers might have cheese. That's cool.
Okay.
Often steam my peppers for a little bit so they are softer. But you think 15 minutes is enough cooking time?
Well, if you want to keep them, so that goes back to that. It's like we'll pull them out at 10 minutes to see if they're the right, because everybody's oven is different a little bit.
Yeah.
So if once you give us the 10 minutes, give us the guideline, right? It's like, okay, here's a 10 minutes, and then we'll check them. And if they need to cook a little bit longer, let's cook them a little bit longer. Versus saying cook for 30 minutes, and then it's like, OMG, what happened to my bell pepper? So.
All right, thank you.
And I am cleaning up my mess that I've made.
How's everybody doing that has their cameras off? I feel like we need to check in. I'm gonna assume no comment is good comment. Oh, got a thumbs up. Good.
Okay.
Jen's just listening. Thanks, Jen.
Joel, did you plant your cilantro yet?
Who?
Joel.
Brenda gave us a thumbs up. Thanks, Brenda. Joelle, did you plant your cilantro?
Those are magical seeds, by the way.
Not yet.
Oh, she said no, not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
Theodore, because you registered for this one, you're already registered for August. Did you want to sign up for one of the vouchers?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll make a note to sign you up tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming. You have a good night.
You too.
Yeah. And if you know more, and honestly, if anyone knows anyone that could use a voucher, this is for everyone, so please spread the word.
Yes.
What you do is you register. Once you register for the class, then that puts you on the list to receive a voucher in a Coos Bay Public Library bag to help you shop. So all of the ingredients for this community cooking is from the Coos Bay Public Library and Coos Food Co-op. So please spread the word. We are trying to create access.
And if anybody needs info on applying for the August voucher, just shoot me an email and I'll send you all the info tomorrow. But we do want to give the August vouchers to people that didn't get July vouchers. Spread the love.
Stop looking at mine.
Joelle plans to plant cilantro in fall.
Ah, okay. I've already started working on my fall crop. I've identified what I'm gonna grow. It's a process. First, you gotta locate the seeds. Then you gotta ask around for seeds that you do not have, So, yeah.
Dragonfly in Langley does all their own organic starts, and they have a nice winter crop. Fall and winter crop starts.
And now there's Seacoast.
Yes, in Charleston.
Charleston, Seacoast Gardens.
Well, I got arugula from Seacoast Gardens. And I had packets of collard green dark seeds.
Yeah.
And I must have given them away, but I dislocated more. And
Hey, Jamar, Jen was asking, does cilantro do better in the fall? She says hers keeps failing.
Your cilantro?
Yeah, it's not great. It just kind of flops over. And I think I have your packet of seeds too, by the way. but yeah, does it grow better in the fall?
Oh, I haven't planted it in the fall here, but if it does, Mine, I threw mine out maybe in February.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
Joelle, does yours grow better in the fall?
Might be too hot right now. Let's keep it watered.
Yeah, you have to probably keep it watered, but I started mine in February.
Yeah.
In the ground, or did you start in pots?
In the ground. Yeah, garden bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
We
try
get
that.
some
Thank you.
Nails in our place. It's like mowing everything
You
down.
know what?
We have the rights.
The slugs and all of that, it's
Yeah.
like the slugs do not cross over one part of my garden. They only stay on the right side. So it's just weird. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever y'all like, just have at it. Just have at it. So, this is intermission. Normally I would sing a song or do a little jig. But we're talking gardens, in which you already got me, so.
Everybody have their peppers in the oven? Oh, Jen, Joelle said she hasn't tried planting it yet, so she doesn't know.
Yeah, let's all try in the fall and report back. I'm very curious.
There we go.
Okay.
The other is the Master Gardeners, the OSU Master Gardeners are at the farmer's market every Wednesday, and you can certainly ask them.
Yeah, because I had to learn the climate.
So I think, because we can't really hear the people in the kitchen, I think what Kristen said was you could check with the master gardeners at the farmer's market.
Yes.
Okay, cool. They would probably know.
Francis, what are you eating?
Cheese. Did you put some on your peppers? She
Yeah.
did. See, Maxine? Francis put cheese on her peppers too. You're muted, Maxine. Yeah, Francis said she grated some for the peppers and she's eating the leftovers. Good for you.
What is your favorite cheese?
Oh,
That's a hard
it's
question.
a hard one.
Do it.
On what I'm putting it on.
I think you inspired him, Maxine.
Your top three.
Cheddar.
Okay.
Havarti.
It's best to leave the cheese off, but I'll start tomorrow.
Cheddar.
Mm-hmm. You said cheddar? Oh, Havarti.
Paul did.
Paul likes cheddar. You like Havarti.
Oh, that was Francis.
Oh, Francis likes cheddar as well.
I pretty much like all cheese. I just can't eat it anymore.
Here, here.
Well, we do have alternative cheeses.
Oh yeah, I can eat Swiss.
Uh-huh.
I find aged cheeses to be a little bit easier on the digestion.
Yeah, I can eat some of the more aged ones. Francis said not American.
Kraft singles?
Yeah.
Don't eat it?
Yeah, I could live without those. Nope.
How you doing, Bonnie? Have you put yours in?
At least you know what you like, Francis. That's awesome.
Right. I love goat cheese. I love all cheeses.
Yeah.
Goat cheese is just, and the pepperoni. Oh my gosh. I'm saying it completely wrong, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It's here. It's super salty. It's just.
I started making my own cheese for a while.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's like a fresh ones.
Yeah.
It's just like get
The
a half gallon
It
of
had
milk.
yet. Hello. How's everybody doing?
Vinegar in it, and then then
Bonnie, have you put your
solidifies
peppers in your
itself.
oven yet?
Cool.
And then
Yep.
strength
Okay.
the,
Okay.
cheesecloth.
Right.
Add some
I think everybody's snacking on their leftovers while they wait for their peppers.
lemon zest. Yeah. Just squeeze it and press it out. Fast.
How's your timer, Jamar?
20 seconds.
Cool.
Don't you go anywhere.
No, we're not. Abby's in the car. The dog is in the car.
You can bring her in. It's a co-op.
Yeah.
I tried to pitch that to friends. Like, I'm gonna bring my dog in. I don't have a dog, but I was trying to just, say those things. Just so it's like, if I get an okay, then, oh, that's, yeah.
How they looking? 400, Mark. Mark came in late. He was asking how the temp on the oven. Drum roll.
I'm gonna put mine in just for 5 more minutes and then they're ready. They're starting to get a little crunchy on top, which is really great.
All right. So Jamar's need 5 more minutes. And Mark, I know you came in late. I will be posting this on the library's YouTube channel either tomorrow or Saturday. So you can always go there to catch up, watch the beginning.
Thank y'all for coming.
No, thanks for letting us in.
Yeah, Sue said hers are still a little tender.
Okay. So odds good. Oh.
Mark said sounds good. I was telling him he could cook
Okay.
along to the video later.
To locate my glasses. I took them to the farmer. I took them to the farmer's market. Oh, really? I took them to the farmer's market, and I don't know where I set them. I'll find them. But I've been like, oh, okay.
Well, it's a good thing we got the big monitors up there.
Right. Everybody has their glasses.
We got a delicious from Bonnie.
They're cheaters.
Not the right prescription?
I almost saw through the screen. Hey.
A +5 or something?
I'm over 50. This is what those are.
Yeah.
I'll find them.
Yeah.
How's everyone's peppers looking? Did you check them when the timer went off?
Bonnie said delicious, but I don't know if she's talking about the stuffing or the finished product.
Okay. Well, you made her laugh, which is always.
That's all that counts,
It's
really.
a must when it comes to coming into a kitchen.
She said stuffing. Well,
Okay.
good.
Okay.
That means the finished product will just be that much better.
Mm-hmm. Maxine, how is yours doing? You have yours going a little bit longer, right? Francis, did you check on yours? How's it doing?
She's running to check.
Okay.
That was a good reminder, I think. Thanks, Jen. Take care.
Jen.
Mine are still a little hard, so I'm keeping mine in for a while.
Yeah, maybe do another 5 minutes, Kathy. And
Okay.
Francis said they look really good.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Mine are pretty firm. I'm going to do another 5 minutes,
Okay.
Perfect.
but I like them a little mushy.
Mm-hmm.
I might
Do it
have to
your
add
way,
some
Maxine.
cheese now that we've had the discussion.
Maxine has prompted the cheese pop. Oh, it's good.
Bonnie's are firm.
Okay. Bunny, how long have you had yours in there, though?
You can unmute, Bonnie.
And someone called in. Is that Stacy?
I'm not sure who called in.
I think that may be Stacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stacy just moved in. Her she didn't have her Wi-Fi was supposed to get connected today, so I told her to call.
Awesome, because I was wondering where Stacy was. And Francis
So
and Jamie
mine-
just go ahead, Bonnie.
Mine have been in there for 9 minutes. I'm gonna give them another 5, I think.
Oh, of course. Yes. Francis.
They just pulled them out of the oven. And Sue said firm but crunchy on top. Very good. I'm leaving others in oven turned off. So good. Thanks, Sue. Glad you enjoy it.
Kathy, I.
She's going for another Kathy with an I or a Y?
Kathy with an I.
She's going for another 5 minutes. How's Kathy with a Y doing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they still need to bake for
Okay.
a little while.
Okay, cool.
I think the squash, were you supposed to put any liquid in it?
Hey, Kitty.
Maybe I should have put some liquid in with the squash.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, Jamie and Francis. They're going to eat. Please do.
Make sure y'all take photos, please.
So Kathy was asking if she should have put water in with the squash.
Oh, Kathy had squash and not. She did a mixture of bell peppers and squash.
Right.
So because the bell peppers and the squash have a different texture, it might take a little bit longer for the squash to actually finish cooking.
Oh, your squash just might take a little longer, Kathy.
Terry, how are you doing?
I think they're done. They were showing the cap.
The cat was in the picture.
We're doing good. I'm just gonna check them and make sure it's time, that they're ready to come out.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, I've kind of been working along with Jamar, and woo-hoo, I'm getting excited.
Good job. Awesome. I'm excited for you.
I just do dishes.
Cool. Hey, less to do after you eat, right, Steven?
I do it as I go, like Jamar.
Yep, that's smart.
Hey, boo.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, if you go much more, you're gonna burn them.
Yeah, don't burn them. Don't burn your hard work. Jamar's going in.
And I think using the parchment paper was genius. Thank you. That I always added water, and then they got kind of punky on the bottom.
Good choice, Jamar. Thanks, Joelle. Take care.
Okay, so now I'm gonna plate.
Terry said the parchment paper was genius.
I'm no genius. I just have good teachers.
Love parchment paper.
It's one of my favorite things. I was making strawberry covered, and I use them like if I'm trying to transport something, I'll put parchment paper over it, put a rubber band around it. I made chocolate covered strawberries for Paula today. It was her birthday in the kitchen. She likes dark chocolate, so I did dark chocolate strawberries and dusted cacao powder over it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start plating mine.
Yum.
Ooh, my chef.
Hot stuff.
My chef hand. You know we don't use that. You're like, look who.
I'm just looking for the right tools.
Kathy said the filling is great by itself. Thanks. And Bonnie said hello to Kristen too.
Bonnie.
She says hi back, Bonnie.
We have a celebrity in the house.
I guess so. Kathy, you have a question? With a Y? Oh, I think she left. Bye, Kathy. All right, let's go back to Jamar here.
And now I have my garnish.
So you can sprinkle a little of your parsley on your finished product. Thanks, Bonnie. Enjoy. Bonnie said she's going to go eat. Thank you so much. Fun. Thanks, Bonnie. It's fun having you join us. Avocado? It didn't even work.
Oh, that
there we go,
great.
Alan.
That was great, Paul. Oh, that was great. That was great. See,
There we go.
We've had a crazy week, and this is just what I needed.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Brenda.
This is just what I needed.
Yeah.
People in the kitchen.
Nice work. Yum. Oh, my God. Brenda said, thank you. Always enjoy, Jamar.
Hey, thank y'all. It wouldn't be community cooking with the co-op if y'all didn't show up.
Exactly. We wouldn't be here.
I'm hungry. Thank you, Jamar.
Bye, Stephen.
Thanks, Terry and Steven. Take care.
Bye, Terry.
Oh, stuff our faces.
We're
now.
gonna go eat.
Please do. Don't let those peppers get cold. Oh, nice work, Maxine. And please send us pictures. We forgot to ask people to send us pictures. Please send us plating pictures. You can send them to my email, which is in your Zoom confirmation. Yeah, Mark said, looks great. Boy, do they. Ah, thank you, Alan.
I didn't get parsley, so I used the fennel fronds for
Oh,
garnish.
cool.
Oh, Maxine, that is awesome. That is great. Good job.
Good job, Kathy.
Good job, Kathy.
Send us a pic if you have a camera.
Way to go. Way to go.
Awesome. Bonnie, how you doing?
No, sorry, I'm
No,
on your
no,
shirt.
no, that's all right.
Can I get a picture?
Get out of the way.
That was awesome.
How are your peppers, Maxine? Wait, you're muted.
I'm trying to find a plate to put them on so I can take a photo.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
These smell-
Bonnie, you still with us?
Oh, I think she is going to eat.
Oh, good, good. Okay. We'll assume she's enjoying peppers.
Well, thank you all. This is
Yes, thank you all. Thank you, Jamar.
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, Alan, thank you so much.
Yeah. Welcome. Until next month.
Yes.
Bye, Bonnie and companion there. Thanks, y'all.
Alrighty, bye.
Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy those peppers.
I will do.
Thanks,
Signing
Mark.
off. Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.